This is the Tri-State Time Machine. Each week, your host, Vanessa Hankins, and her guests share memories and stories about the past, the present, and the future of the Tri-State area. That's West Virginia, Kentucky, and the Ohio areas. If you used to live here, or you currently live here, you're going to catch yourself saying out loud, "Wow, I remember that." Now, here's Vanessa.
Hey guys, it's Vanessa, and we're back with the Tri-State Time Machine. Today we have a local comedian that I kind of had to hunt down twice to get him to even reply to my messages. So I'm not going to act like I'm butthurt over here, but I am a little bit. But we have today on the show, we have Bo Vance, a veteran stand-up comedian of over 25 years on stage, known for his unfiltered style, Appalachian perspective, and storytelling that hits right where humor meets honesty. So please welcome everybody, Bo Vance.
What's going on here? How you doing, Vanessa? I'm sorry I didn't reply to your
Okay, I just had to give you a hard time.
I'm a busy guy.
Oh, you are. You're all over the place. You really are. You know, I told my girlfriend it was Friday. She was like, "What are you doing this weekend?" And I said, "Well, actually," I said, "on Sunday, I said, I'm recording a couple episodes." She's like, "Oh, who you have on?" And I told her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh." She was like, "We just saw him at Fat Patty's." She was like, "He was so funny." She was like, "Why didn't you come?" And I was like, "I didn't know." I was like, "You got to invite me to things or I
That's my
wouldn't
kind of
know."
girl there, yeah.
But yeah, she said she said the show was great. She really enjoyed it. But yeah, so excited to have you on, and I kind of want to just kind of jump into the way back
Sure.
of like, when did you first get into comedy, and what was that aha moment where you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this."
So I got into comedy by accident.
Okay.
I was actually in a punk rock band that was doing a small East Coast tour. And we had a show booked in North Carolina, somewhere near the beach. It was supposed to be on a Saturday night, but our drummer was our manager, and we showed up on Friday. This is back before text messages,
Right.
emails. So we got there a day early, and it was at a gay bar.
Okay.
And we got there, and they were like, we started unloading equipment, and they said, "Guys, you're not here till tomorrow night. You can stay if you want. Tonight is drag queen comedy. If you guys want to,
Perfect.
if you want to stay,
We'll
fine.
hang."
You know, you can drink. We were underage. They were like, "You want to drink? You can." So I got up and I did comedy right after a big black Winona Judd impersonator.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I talked about tucking her wiener for 5 minutes and had a blast. And immediately I was like, I'm out of punk rock. I think comedy's the way I'm going. So
That's such a like random story.
Yeah,
Such a random
so
way to figure out it's for you.
So for many years, I just did. There wasn't. I was in the North Carolina area a lot. There wasn't a lot of regular comedy clubs. Most of the comedy clubs were black comedy clubs.
Uh-huh.
So being a fat rednecky type guy, I fit right in at the black club.
Right.
So for about the first 5 years, I didn't perform in front of white people. So I got kind of thrown right into the mix.
I would say, like, honestly though, like that was probably like the best teacher for you.
Absolutely.
They're way funnier than
Right,
we are.
and I love it. I love it so much. I love doing the black circuit. I've did many all black shows, and it is the most fun. When you sound like me, for some reason, they just love me. So,
Right.
so it's a blast.
I love that. So there was no like growing up like, "I want to be a comedian when I get older," or anything like that.
Not really. I was an only child, so I did entertain myself a lot. I was raised by a single dad, which
Okay.
was tells you a little bit how my mom was, I guess. So he was just kind of a strict guy. So I had to entertain myself. So I pretty much I watched a lot of stand-up comedy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had a record player. I had Richard Pryor records and stuff.
Yeah.
So I grew up doing that. My dad had no sense of humor. So it was a big difference.
Not really a test audience for you.
Right. So it came out later.
So was there anyone like, obviously that night you kind of decided, "Hey, this is for me," after getting a taste of it, but was there ever like a comedian that you saw in person? Well, I guess if you were that young, you were underage, probably wasn't a lot of experience of seeing anybody live or anything.
No. I saw Seinfeld when I was fairly young into comedy, and I was like, I'd never be like that, you know. He was a totally
He's like
different.
way up there though.
Yeah, yeah. So that was like when you jump in, the first comedian you see is Jerry Seinfeld was like, but I saw like Tim Conway and stuff, you know, some
Yeah.
of like the more clean people when I was a kid. Actually, I saw Tim Conway at Marshall University
Okay.
when I was in high school. So I didn't know much about stand up live, you know.
Yeah.
I just knew him from like Dwarf on Golf, so it was really cool to see that kind of thing. But I watched a lot of specials and stuff. I really liked like Damon Wayans, people like
Yeah,
that.
he's
Yeah,
funny. Yeah.
yeah, he was so underrated as a stand up. So I really like stuff
I
like
think
that.
like as a whole, like for his whole life, he's very underrated.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like yeah, I agree with that. So let's talk about your first paid gig. What did it feel like, but also like did it kind of solidify for you like okay, I can do this for a living or
So yeah, my first paid gig. I started out, you know, I did it was a bunch of open mics and stuff. I didn't know who I was as a comic. I tried to be controversial and everything like that. So there wasn't much of paid gigs out there. You would totally lose money. Sometimes if you got like free chicken fingers or something, you know,
yeah, that was a
yeah,
win.
that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Uh, I didn't get really serious into trying to do it for a living until about 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Um, I think my first paid gig when somebody walked up to me and gave me like a $20 bill, I thought I'd made it,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
which I was successful in my other career at that point and stuff, and you know, $20 wouldn't. That's what you leave for a tip at Red Lobster.
Right.
But to me, to get that $20,
No, I get it. I remember, like, the first time that someone left a review on the podcast, and I was telling you before we started recording that my previous host, WG, he had brought me on, and he was like, "You have to stay, yada, yada, yada," you know, and I'm just like, "Yeah, right, dude, like, you just don't wanna do this alone, what you know, whatever, leave me
yeah,
alone."
yeah,
But, the first review that we got from a listener that mentioned me, and I was like, "Oh, new career. Maybe I should just quit everything."
right, right.
I was like, "Here I am." So I get that 100%.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was, now, you know, I get checks, you know, a lot of clubs will just cash app you and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
man, nothing will ever be as special as that first $20 bill that was
For
wadded up and handed
sure.
to me, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely get that. Let's talk a little bit about, the comedy behind Bo. Your style is known as unfiltered observational humor. And every time like I was doing research on you, like that just kept coming up. And I'm like, does he just get on stage and say this? Like that this is his thing. So tell us what that means for you to be known as like the unfiltered observational humor.
Well, I don't, I think we know what unfiltered is. So,
Yeah.
like, I am, I don't really do dark comedy or anything like that, but, you know, I have some controversial stuff. I'm fairly open to all lifestyles and stuff, but I like to joke on everybody.
Absolutely.
And it's very funny because, right here, I mean, people meet me, they're like, "Look at this right-wing redneck racist, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
like he hates the gays and stuff." If you listen to my comedy, it's totally not like that. I
Right.
poke fun of everybody. In fact, it was kinda weird last year. I was the headliner for the Huntington Pride comedy shows
I love
the
that.
last 2 years,
Yeah.
and someone came up to me after the show and said, they're like, "Hey, we just want you to know you're our favorite gay comedian." And I was like, "Well, that's an honor
Yeah, thank you.
considering that I like the ladies,"
Yeah.
you know? So, I kinda go, not to be a pun, both ways on that, you know?
Yeah.
So, that's kinda my deal. But I do a lot of clean shows. I work family show. Just past week, I did a, artisan farmers market show with a bunch of old ladies.
It's very random.
Yeah, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I did that, so I can cater to everything. You know, observational. I'm just, I kind of talk about things that are in my life. I'll take a little thing, like the old lady takes a dump with the door open. I'm talking about it on stage. She knows not to make any mistakes. She knows not to make any
Sounds like my
mistakes.
life with my husband. I can't
Right,
drop the
yeah.
ball anytime.
Oh, no, no, it's getting brought up, and she knows she watches her P's and Q's now, but, you know, that's kinda what I do with my comedy. I kinda talk about everything.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that's the best humor. You mentioned Jerry Seinfeld earlier,
Mhm.
and in my new role, like, we just had him at the Keith Albee, and I just, like, had this big idea in my head of, like, what he must be like as a person, which I never got to meet him, so, like, I don't have any, like, for sure things, but, he got in and was like, "No one downstairs, no one's allowed near me, blah, 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 blah," and I was like, "What a bummer," like, 'cause you really I wanna, like you always wanna know, like, what's that like, is the persona on stage a same, as, like, their day-to-day kind of a thing?
Well, I've opened up some for some I'm not gonna name drop because they were jerks, but I've opened up for some bigger comedians who, just pretty much aren't in this don't wanna be in the same room with you. Then I've opened up for
Yeah,
some that I thought, were gonna be total jerks, and they were the nicest people and paid you double or whatever,
right,
and just, they had catered food, and they were like, "Come get you some chicken," and stuff. So,
right,
it just really depends. I think that, there's a lot of misconceptions about some of the people that are really, really famous. They're not gatekeepers. They wanna help the younger comedians.
right.
Not that I'm younger, but,
No,
they
I
wanna help
get it.
out the people that aren't up there yet, and by you being a better comedian, it makes them a better comedian at the same time.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you were talking about, like, the guys that, like, kinda put a hand down to pull you up kind of
Mhm.
thing. Mulaney was my very first show at the Keith, and,
Yeah.
he paid his 2 openers. He ended up having 2 openers that we really weren't sure literally until, like, a couple of days beforehand that he was bringing them, but, like, he paid them out of, like, his pocket, out of his pot of money himself, and he paid them extremely well, and I was like, "Okay, that says a lot about a guy," because he could have easily just pocketed that and give them the little $100 or whatever, they would normally get for open, but
You got my number for future for future shows. I'd love to open up for him, yeah.
Yeah, no, and I didn't know his humor at all. He's more like my son's age group kinda humor, and with SNL and all that, 'cause I haven't watched SNL in years, but, I had watched a couple of his clips and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "I don't think I'm gonna really like this guy," and I actually got to sit down and watch most of the show, and he was really funny.
Yeah,
Like, at first, I was a little worried of how he was gonna go over in Huntington,
mhm.
but, like, it was definitely his crowd. It was his people, so they
But he's a really good joke writer, and he has that delivery that's just
Yes,
and it just makes, like, it works for him. It wouldn't work
absolutely.
for my material, but for his stuff, it's so
Right.
good, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was funny is I can't remember the little girl's name, but he had this little, like, Asian girl open up for him. She was one of the openers, and, she brought her dog, and we're like, as soon as they get in, we're like, "Okay, who's walking the dog for this girl?" Like,
Yeah,
'cause she
yeah.
like, "Oh, great, here we go." But she did a whole monologue over, you know, how to basically make a man feel like a woman and, like, rip that, like, manly energy from him, and it did not go over well, especially here in Huntington,
That's what's wrong with
Yeah,
America.
yeah, and I was just like, "Oh," I was like, "That was not a good landing, that was not a good situation," but I've not seen a lot of comedy shows, so, like, just these 2 shows that I've done at the Keith have been my only experience with them outside of, when we used to have the comedy club at Pullman.
Right,
Like, I
right.
would go to those religiously,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that was m mainly, like, Aaron Michael Fox and,
Mhm,
like,
yeah,
the local people, they didn't
right.
really get a whole lot of, um I know Andy Dick, we saw him,
Mhm.
which he got arrested that night, which we thought was
Of course.
hilarious as college kids. We were like, "Oh, we partied with him last night," at Silver City or
Mhm.
whatever that bar was at the time. I know it wasn't Banana Joe's, but same location. Um, but yeah, like, that was my first experience was watching his openers before watching him, and I was just like, "Oh, man, like, how bad would that be? Your whole, like, 15-minute stretch just didn't play well." Like
You have to know your audience, and it's really, really hard. My, where I'm doing a lot of headline stuff now, I do like 45 to
Yeah.
an hour. I kinda test the waters on a lot of stuff. There's not a lot of open mic opportunities in West Virginia, so
Yeah.
we use an open mic, they say to sharpen your sword, kind of a
Right.
practice. There's not a lot of opportunities around here. So I have to sneak in new material on my larger sets. I
Yeah.
kinda throw them in the middle there to test them out. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I was in, I think it was in somewhere up in Ohio near Cleveland
Mhm.
recently, and, I tried to joke about, Casey Anthony, and I just got a groan instead of a laugh, and I was like, "Well, that's, kinda I'm" this is not a Casey Anthony.
Right.
So, yeah, you gotta watch, I mean, if you have, there's some stuff that you don't want to I kinda struggle sometimes with the young college crowds, I do a
Yeah.
lot in Columbus, and that's a young liberal crowd, and like I say, I
Yes.
walk on stage and they get the misconception, "There's this redneck guy going
Right.
racist and stuff," and it's I have to change up the way I not so much my material, but the way I put it out
The way
there
you
to
execute it, right.
you have to coddle these college kids sometimes
Yeah.
and just
Well, it's
lay
almost
it
like
out
they have
there.
to feel like it's, like, safe to laugh.
Right,
Like,
right.
"Am I a bad person if I laugh?" Yeah, so I'll reference my son again because he's, like, that age group. Um, he's taught me so much because of the way they think, but also, I'm just like when I talk to him, I'm like, "I don't want to offend you or any of your friends, but tell me about yada, yada, yada." Like, because I had a really hard time with the they, them.
Mhm.
Like, I was like not that I didn't want to I guess, approach people the correct way because it
Right.
wasn't that. I mean, if your name's Mike or you're a they or them, I wanna call you whatever it is that you wanna be called, but, like, I just wanted to understand it so it would come more naturally to me, you know? And he's like, "Mom, you can't ask that." And I'm like, "If I can't ask you, who the fuck can I
Yeah,
ask?" You
what
know?
what
I'm like
what am I
I'm like, "I
supposed
need
to
to
say?
understand it. I wanna be, I wanna be hip. I wanna know what's going on. I wanna be respectful," you know?
Yeah, speaking of that, one of the comedians I tour with is actually a, trans woman
Okay.
and, which a short black trans woman, which you wouldn't expect
Hanging
me
out
to
with
be
you.
doing a tour with.
Right.
I take her a lot of places with me, and I took her to Columbus, and, she went up, did great with the younger college kids, and then when I got up, they just looked at me like, "Wait, well,
Is
hold
this
on,
the same show?
this ain't going on," and I was like, and I brought up to him and I made the joke. I was like, I thought you guys were progressive. And I was like, I come up here for this little black trans lady and y'all are looking at it funny. It's like you never seen one ride in the back of a pickup truck before. And they didn't like that too much.
Right.
Afterwards, they were all giving her hugs and stuff, but they didn't care much for that.
I love that. That's funny. So we were talking about a little bit about your material and how you kind of test it on stage. Do you write most of your material, or do you find that just coming off the riff with it does
Uh,
better?
now, poor Sarah here, my lovely fiance, she has to hear me write, and I don't sit down with a pen and paper and write.
Hmm.
I'll just look at something and notice that how bizarre it is to me, and
Yeah.
I'll start riffing. Actually, when we were standing out front, I brought up the fact that the First Presbyterian Church is across the street, and there's other First Presbyterian churches. Nobody in this town wants to admit that we're the second
Yes.
best Presbyterian
Right.
church. I don't know, and I just went in this riff, and she's just shaking her head. Things like that hit me, and then later on, I might write actually sit down and write something about it. But stuff like that constantly
Right.
hits me, yeah, yeah, but I think a lot of life experience, being raised by, a single dad, I use a lot of that, and then I have 2 kids of my own that, I raised for a long time by myself, before I found Sarah to step in and play nanny, but I have those life experiences, so I use a lot of that,
Yeah.
and throw that in, but, I'm not, like, really a pen and paper kinda guy. When I'm on stage sometimes, I'll just, kinda go off. I'm not really a crowd work kinda guy. I'm not like, "Oh, what do you do for a living? How long you been
Yeah.
together?" But if something happens in the crowd, I'll bring it up,
Right.
so, that happens a lot, and some of my best material has evolved from just, something somebody yelled out.
Right. I always, like, wondered to myself, and it's, like, here nor there, this is just me being talkative, I guess, like Matt Rife, like, he's the big trendy guy now,
Sure.
whatever. He seems like he relies a lot on that audience participation for his show, and I'm like, "What if he goes into a show that literally no one is willing to speak up?" Like, how well would that go for you, you
Right,
know?
right. Yeah, Matt Rife, like, actually, before he got into being, like, the crowd work king, he was a really good joke writer. He had a lot
Okay.
of stuff, and he bases a lot of his, he had a special, I don't remember what it was called, but it was something about had his name in it. It was something about his grandfather naming him or whatever. But a lot of that, he had written jokes. He didn't do quite as much, crowd work, and that special tanked because it's not what people wanted to do. They
It's
just
not what
want
they
yeah,
yeah,
you
they
just
don't
had
know him
these
for that.
single moms out there that wanted him to talk about their titties,
Right.
stuff like that. So that's what he relies on. But his shows, if you ever go to his live shows, he'll film everything, and it might be 3 hours, and then if he releases a special, it'll be like 45 minutes of that 3 hours.
Oh,
So,
okay, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that he's bombing on probably.
Oh, yeah, I
That
get
kind of
that
work stuff's hard.
completely. Yeah, I get that. And also, like, I learned again bringing up Mulaney with that show. I'm learning so much working at the Keith. Um, he was practicing a lot of new material
Mhm.
for a special he's getting ready to release, I think on Netflix. And so, like, the no photography and like all that, like, it was so strict.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane. Like, we had to, anyone that had glasses, we had to make sure they weren't Meta glasses, had to check smartwatches. I mean, the
Mhm.
whole shebang because he didn't want any of his new material getting leaked
Yeah,
before
we're
his
really,
special.
I mean, and that's the thing where I tour a lot. Like I have a 45 minutes that I've probably been doing the same pretty much for probably 6 months or something like
Yeah.
that. I have a lot of new material that like I said, I'm working in. So I don't like, I don't tell people, don't film me because I mean, that's part of the fun,
Well, you don't wanna be a diva.
but I don't want 'em like, I'm totally cool with people filming me. I just don't want them releasing stuff before I do it. I'm
Right.
trying to get a social media following, Bo Vance Comedy on all social media, but,
Yeah,
like,
follow him, guys.
TikTok and everything, I've started releasing little clips of stuff that's kind of older,
Yeah,
and to get it out there. But, if I'm working on something new, I don't want somebody because it'll take, 5, 6 times before you get it to where you need it. You
for
just don't little
sure.
changes, and you don't want somebody releasing the first version of it.
Right.
If you go back and see the stuff that I was working on, I film all my sets. So stuff that I was, doing 2 years ago that I'm using full time now,
Yeah.
if you hear me working on it back then, it's total dog crap. I mean,
Right.
it's just,
You just didn't have it down pat
yeah,
yet.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I didn't know how to pace it, and I add little tags to it and stuff. I mean, you can see, if you go back on my TikTok, you can go back 2 years and you'll see me do, one joke about, Pride Night at a baseball park, and you'll hear the first time I ever did that joke, and then you go a year and a half later, and it's actually one of my biggest laughs.
Yeah.
But you can hear it go from nothing to how it is now,
Right.
and change, and I left that on there just for that, that you can see the evolution of a joke over
Yeah,
time,
for sure. Yeah. And I'm sure that, like, it was a big deal, like, with Mulaney about, like, they kept stressing it to us, like, every email, "Hey, be sure, that you're doing this and you're doing that and yada, yada, yada." And I was just like, "Oh my god, this is, like, crazy." I was like, "This guy is such a diva, like, he's just so full of himself, what yada, yada, yada." But then once we found out about the Netflix special and all that kinda stuff, I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Now this makes sense." Like, he doesn't want someone, A, stealing his new material, for one, and B, like, he doesn't wanna miss that opportunity when that docuseries or
yeah.
documentary, like, airs. So, I was like, "I get it now, it makes more sense." But in the beginning, they were, like, so, like I was like,
I
"Jesus
don't think anybody's
Christ."
gonna steal my material.
You think you're safe?
Yeah, I don't
Um, what is something that you once joked about that today you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole?
I don't really have too much, like I said, I mean, there's some things, like, one of the things that people often say, is that I'm trying to it's in my bio online that somebody wrote up. If you search for me in any kind of AI thing, it'll say that, I'm trying to change the misconceptions of West Virginia,
Okay.
is kind of a thing, to make us not look like rednecks or whatever, but we are.
I was gonna say there's really no
We are,
changing
like, we
that.
go
Yeah.
everywhere, like, I'll do shows, I'll state openers, I'll always say, like, "Oh, yeah, he came here, and I think that lady that's with him's his sister." Like, they'll make the same jokes and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's, whatever, I don't really care, so I don't try to protect West Virginia as much as I do. But, one joke that I definitely won't say anymore, I used to have a closer for many years where I talked about a, very popular West Virginia biscuit restaurant.
Okay.
It was a very, good joke. It's one of, I think, the best written jokes that's ever hit this state.
Yeah.
It would kill every time. And, but now with my big boy jobs that I have, I have a partnership with that biscuit and gravy restaurant. So I have scrubbed that son of a gun from the internet.
Right.
That will never be done again. I gotta pay bills. So, and that
I
joke
feel
wasn't
that.
on it, but, yeah, there's some things that you just, I've made some jokes, about my kids before and stuff, and after a while, they're like, "Can you stop doing that?" So, I've kinda listened to them. Sarah's okay, like, I say some stuff to embarrass her, but she just brushes it off.
I feel like that's, like, life with my husband, so I'm right there with you, Sarah.
Right,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, hey, I'm the butt of, like, every joke. Like, his favorite one to tell is one time, literally one time, we've been together for 20 years. I got in the shower, and I don't know what I was doing, but somehow I got water, like, up my nose and was, like, drowning in the wa in the
Mm.
shower. And so his favorite thing is like, "Oh, Vanessa can't even take a shower without fucking drowning, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "Shut up." I'm like, "Everybody in the world does not need to know."
Well, I openly talk about her sex life, and when I mention it in my act, people turn around and look right at her.
Right.
She hates that. Yeah, that's not something she likes at all. She always brings it up, like, and sometimes I'll actually point her out and say,
Yeah.
"There she is, right
Yeah,
there,
there's the
filming me."
lucky lady, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the titties I'm talking about. So she don't like that at all. But
Yeah, my husband will, he will tell people that, like, we've broken ceiling fans out of the ceiling, like, crazy shit, and, like, these are people that I've never met, and, like, we'll be out at dinner or something, and they'll come up, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, if they were looking at you weird, I told them this, this, and this," and I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with
yeah,
you?" I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"You why do you make up things like that?" He's like, "They don't know that I made it
I
up."
don't know.
He's like, "They have no clue," and I'm like, "You are the worst." I was like, I don't even wanna know the things that other people
But my
probably
poor
think
my
about
poor
me.
18-year-old son, one thing, this is a little behind the scenes thing. I have 2 children. I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old. But when in my act, you would think I have 20 kids actually, it sounds like I'll have, like, 4 because 'cause I'll say my youngest son, my oldest son, my youngest daughter, my oldest daughter,
Right.
same 2 kids. But I have a joke where I talk about my daughter where it sounds like she's 6 years old. She's 20, works for CAMZ, got a
Right.
good girl job.
Right.
And my son's 18 years old, and I talk about him being a little feminine boy and stuff like that. So they've asked me at times like, "Hey, can you tone it down, Dad? I'm not gay," and stuff like that. I know how to change the tire on my bike, stop
Right.
making me sound like this little wimp. And I'm like, "Sorry, buddy. It's just the
Yeah,
way it goes. It's an imaginary. I don't mention you by name.
for sure.
It's my little fake kids I had."
Right.
Right, right.
I get it 100%. Do you remember your first, like, great laugh, the moment that you felt like, "Okay, I cracked this room, like, this is gonna be a great show?"
Yeah. So after doing open mics for years, I always got laughs and stuff, but I never had like anything big. Here years back, I did a small room in West Virginia, and I was like, I'm gonna try something new. So I walked up. Nobody was getting laughs that night. It was a very
Just tough crowd.
dry crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of people were doing political stuff, and I walked up and I said, I remember this joke. I said, they say that an act of bestiality happens every 10 seconds in the United States, but not once when asked that question, where were you when those towers fell? Have I ever heard anyone say I was balls deep in a goat? And it just turned the crowd. It was so stupid. It was out of nowhere.
I can
Everybody
imagine
started
the, like,
looking at
what
each
the
other.
fuck look on everybody's
Yeah,
faces.
and they were just like, what's going on?" And the room actually it changed the room
Yeah.
where everybody else that went up after me, it totally changed everything. One stupid joke,
Yeah.
and, there was probably 4 comedians before me, and I'll never forget that. I was just like, sometimes you have to take a risk,
Yeah.
and that was a big risk because, everybody was, at the time, Donald Trump had just got elected again or whatever
Oh,
for the
yeah.
first time, and so they were all throwing, Donald Trump doing impressions and stuff, so it
Yeah.
was just so dumb that, for some reason that worked, and I'll never forget it. I was so proud of that.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I get that. 100%. You've played all kinds of rooms, so tell me the difference between a crowd, like, in Wheeling, West Virginia versus, like, a crowd in Columbus.
So, the college crowds, like I said before, are the more liberal crowds. I do better with, the older crowds and the black crowds for some reason. The young white girls hate me. I don't know why. I guess it's because I compare trans people to boneless wings and stuff like that, which, I'm not gonna do the bit, but that is something that I do, and I'll talk about John Benet Ramsey and shit. But, they don't like that. I prefer an older crowd. West Virginia, I mean, everywhere's a pretty good crowd. I mean, there's, this is my home state, so I do a lot of West Virginia material. I
Yeah.
can make fun of Jim Justice anywhere and about how, Baby Dog probably has licked peanut butter off his nuts at least once. I
I
can
would
talk about
guarantee
that
it. I would
anywhere.
guarantee it.
Yeah, it's unless, like, Baby Dog likes Nutella or something.
Right.
She might be fancy, I don't know. West Virginia, everywhere's good, you know, I've did bars with 5 people in West Virginia and had just a blast as I did, the Charleston Coliseum with 2,000 people.
Yeah.
So, it just really depends, you know, those little crowds, those big crowds. Last year I did, Danae Hayes, who is a TikTok comedian,
Mhm.
very popular, millions of followers, has got into comedy. I opened up for her. She'd been doing comedy for about 6 months, and I opened up for her in
Isn't it
Charleston.
crazy how TikTok has, like, just
Well,
made people's careers just, like, fly?
yeah, the, Charleston Coliseum people called me up and said, "We have this comedian named Danae Hayes." I Googled her, and I was like, I didn't see any comedy. It was just, you know, her singing dirty songs and stuff. They were like, "We want you to come open for her." I was like, "Absolutely, I'll be there." What they did not tell me that she's a lesbian comedian and that I'll be performing in front of 2,000 lesbians. And then my dumbass
Woulda prepared you a little better had you known.
sure, that would've been great. I had no clue, and I was standing in the bike, and then, you know, her management, which Danae, shout out Danae, she's the best, man. Like, I had so much fun with her. I'm supposed to do some shows with her this year. She is a blast, and she's gonna be a great comedian. She's gonna be one to watch out for. Uh, but I walked out, like, I was in the bike, and they were like, "Now, you know how our crowd is," and I was like, I had no clue.
No,
I
tell
had no
me.
clue.
Please enlighten me.
So at the same night, there was a concert in the actual Coliseum. We were in the theater,
Okay.
2,000 people. Heart was playing. And when I was getting on the elevator in the parking garage, it opened up and it was just full, jam packed with flannel shirt wearing lesbians. And I was like, and that's when I started getting like, oh no. And when I was walking on, this lady goes, "Oh, good grief." You know, and I was like, I was like, what's going on? Like, I was like, my fat ass is getting on this elevator. So I took a big risk in my set. I walked on stage, 2,000 lesbians right there, and I was like, "All right, where's the bitch that when I got on
That
the
got on the
elevator,
elevator with me.
yeah, got on the elevator that you know made a comment?" I was like, "I know you're here, lady. I saw that fucking haircut." Like, I was like, "You're in this crowd."
I know you are.
You know, and the place went nuts. And then I just did my material, and then after that, I was taking pictures like crazy, and then, for shows for the last year, like, lesbian couples were coming to all my shows and stuff. I have a huge lesbian following, which is awesome. I love these
Yeah,
ladies.
they're the
So
funniest.
they're great.
Yes.
And I never knew how much that lesbians and gay guys hate each other until I started hanging out with both. It's
My
yeah.
oldest brother is gay, so, like, I'm very, like, intertwined in the world, and it is definitely a thing.
It's like I'm like the little straight Switzerland. Just trying to stay neutral in between the gay guys and the lesbians.
Right.
It's so much fun to hear the hate that they have for each other. They just do not like each other, but they're both very, very fun crowds.
Yes, yes. Have you seen, Becky Robinson? She's another one that got
Mhm.
TikTok famous. Like,
Yep.
I didn't know for, like, the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 rabbit holes of going down her TikTok, I didn't realize that she was a lesbian. So, like, I was telling my boss, because where she's playing in Charleston, I was like, "She might do okay down here." I was like, "I don't know." I was like, maybe look into seeing if their tour wants to, route into Huntington after she hits Charleston. And he watches her and he's like, "Oh my God." He was like, "I was Googling like who's her family and all this." And I was like, "Oh no, that's all bullshit."
Yeah.
I was like, "She's the full blown lesbian."
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, her whole family, Maccabee, the kids, the whole jam. I was like, it's all made up. I was like, I can't imagine what the inside of her head is like.
Yeah, like, for, the LGBTQ community supports their own when it comes to
Yes.
these shows, and it's amazing, and they are the best crowds. There's a, comedian now, so what's his name? Matt Matthews? Is that his name?
Matt, yeah, he's the farm guy.
Absolutely
He's like,
the
"Get up, bitch,
funniest
it's
guy.
time to do farm chores."
Dude,
That
I
yes, he's
hit
my
that
fave.
guy up every week, like, "Dude, please let me
He's
open for
so
you."
funny.
He's the absolute best right now.
Yes.
He's so good. He's He's like gay Matt Rife
Yes.
on stage. He's so good.
That is the best way to.
Yeah, he is the absolute funniest person out there right now. Everybody, I mean, there's a bunch of great comedians out there, but this guy's so naturally funny.
He really is. Like he will. My favorite videos of his are where he hangs out with the I think her name's Cal, Kail, the teen mom.
Yeah.
But like she'll do footage of him for like her podcast or like visiting his farm and stuff, and he's like, "Bitch, you better get all these like crotch goblins." He's like, "I'm not taking care of your kid," and I'm like, "This is gold." I was like, "This is so good."
Yeah, he did a bunch of videos with Danae.
Okay.
And she was the one that wrecked his tractor into the.
Oh, okay. I've seen that one. Okay.
That was like right after I was touring with her.
Okay.
I was like, holy crap! I was like, this dude. Like, I've sent her messages like, please get a hold of him.
Connect
Get
us.
him to Westford. Like, you guys
Yes.
need to bring him in down here.
I need to tell my boss that. Like,
he's
see if we can make that happen.
shows.
He's
People
so
come from
funny. And he's so extra, which makes it even better.
Oh
like,
gosh, like he did one where he took over and became a bartender at a brewery.
oh, I've missed that one. Yeah.
It's so good because all these old men would come in there and
I can
he
only
was just
imagine.
flaming it up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is the best thing. And he did it in a
Yes.
bathrobe, so it was even funnier. Like he's absolutely, he's like one of the like he's like I watch him constantly.
Yeah.
I might be gay.
He really is. He is very funny. Like, I get it.
People are gonna
100%.
hear this podcast and be like, man, he's trying to tell us something.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
really?
coming out.
He's
Poor Sarah. There's something you
say-
need to know. No. All right. So, what is the weirdest request that you've ever got from an audience?
Oh gosh, I had somebody yell for me to take off my shirt, like Bert
Pull a Bert.
one time,
Mhm.
and I was like, "That's not happening." I was like, "No, no, no, that was kind of weird." I signed some titties in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. That was pretty good.
That's a check it off the list.
Lady comes up. I signed. It's weird. Around here, I'm nobody. I go out of state and I sign autographs,
Right.
take pictures of people. It's weird, but like I can't get respect in my own speedway.
Right.
Like, hey man, you took the last piece of pizza, you asshole. I'm a celebrity. I was
Like, damn it. Don't you know who I am?
yeah, this big boobed, not very good looking lady came up to me in Pigeon Forge.
That's always the
Tennessee.
ones.
Yeah, and she was like, "I want you to sign my shirt right here on my titty." And she opens up her flannel and was wearing a Confederate flag shirt. And I looked.
Of
at
course she
Sarah,
was.
and
Of
Sarah
course she
gives me
was.
the head shake, and I was like, this checks out. This
Yeah.
is great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
That's hilarious. What is the funniest crowd reaction that you didn't see coming?
Oh, the funniest crowd reaction. Well, I mean, we've had I did a Pride show on Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was last year.
Yeah, I think that's the way it fell last
Yeah,
year.
and I didn't really know what. And I was the headliner, being a straight white guy. And I was like, I'm a risk taker, so I opened up with a little joke. I was like, man, I know you all are brave, being with the LGBTQ community. I was like, but none of y'all are brave as me because I'm a straight white guy doing a Pride show on Juneteenth.
Right.
And then I said, I didn't know whether to wear mascara or blackface to this thing. And there was an audible gasp and then just uncontrollable laughter for about 2 minutes. And I almost just put the mic back in the stand and said, thank you, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
There was no,
The job is done.
Yeah, I didn't feel like there was going to be anything that could beat that.
Right.
So that was a big one. I really like that. And then every once in a while, I'll get people. I'll say something that's not controversial at all, but they take it as with the young crowds. I've seen people walk out, and when that happens, and I know that these people weren't here to have fun. They were just
Right.
I see that happen. I kind of take pride in making sure they know that I know they're walking out.
Right. See you later. Bye.
Yeah. So bye. Have a
Thanks
good
for
time.
wasting
Don't
your
forget to
money
pay
on
your
me.
tab,
Yeah.
stuff. So I take pride in those every once in a while. I want everybody to have a good time, but I'm not gonna give in to your feelings.
Yeah, I get that 100%. I think like my favorite show over here at Pullman Square, whenever Funny Bone was over here, was a show specifically. We were sitting like how they had like the front tables that like right up to
Yeah,
the bar or to the stage. So we were sitting at one of those tables like off to the left side, and this gentleman, he just kept passing out. Like the guy, I forget who the actual comedian was. It was somebody local that had played a lot, but it wasn't it wasn't Aaron Michael, I don't remember who it was, but anyways, the guy just kept passing out, and, like,
Mhm.
the crowd would like, the laughter would wake him back up, and he'd just kinda, like, come to, and so the comedian had picked up on it, and his friends got embarrassed and were like, "Oh, let's get him out of here," you know, blah, blah, blah. So, like, the commentary of them trying to get him out from the table, pay their tab and all that, like, made, like, a good 20 minutes of the show of his act, you know, and I've never laughed so hard in my life. Like, him just picking up on, like, every friend picking like, "Okay, this guy's getting the leg, this guy's getting the arm," you know, and
Yeah,
I was
drunk
like
people are always fun.
yeah.
I mean, they can get out of hand. I had a guy, at a show in Elkview, West Virginia, which
It was
you
a fun
know
little
where this is
place.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah. A guy stood up, got angry over, a joke and, began to, I guess, he turned it into a Trump rally and started telling everybody how, if we voted for, Harris, that it was gonna be, it was gonna fall apart, and people just laughed at him, and then he was escorted out, and then somehow, uh, snuck back in the back door and sat back down at the bar and finished watching the show, which that was so strange.
It's like, yeah, what was the
I
whole
think
point of everything,
I think
bud?
the owners were like, "Man, we really need him to keep buying liquor."
He was a moneymaker that night.
He snuck right back in, was sitting there when I left.
That's fun. How odd, though. Like,
Yeah.
what odd behavior. Like, you're so bothered that you stood up and made a scene, but yet you're
Yeah,
gonna sneak back
he was
in.
wearing one of the shirts where Trump got shot, where he had his
Oh,
fist up in the air and
god.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't do anything political. I don't even remember why he got mad, and it wasn't even a political joke, and he was just hammered, and, his
Right.
wife was, like, putting her hand over his mouth,
Right.
trying to shut him up. He goes, "No, they all need to know." So it was one of the only, sets that we hadn't filmed,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Man," I was like, "I would be so famous if that would've been put on." It was
Right.
such a good moment, and,
Right.
I wish I had that.
Well, and, like, it seems like when it comes to politics, the people that, like, have the biggest mouths, they really think that their thought process is, like, the thought process. Like, they're not seeing any other
Yeah.
angle of it. So it's like, "You need help." Like, whether it's one way or the other, it's like, "You are delusional." Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
like, you're wild. Your bio, and I was very surprised by this one, mentions the music, which you've already kind of told us that.
Yeah.
You were part of the little band that got you into the comedy, but pro wrestling?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that
S
for a minute. How did those worlds kind of shape
So
your
years ago, I trained some pro wrestling.
Okay.
Was never any good, didn't do a whole lot of shows, but, some friends of mine, had a little wrestling company called IWA East Coast in
Okay.
Charleston that did, a lot of, like, independent wrestling. They would bring in guys that were kinda past their prime and stuff,
Yeah.
and they did the death match type wrestling where they fall into light bulbs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're getting huge crowds, 300-400 people a show,
Yeah.
and stuff, and, we actually were released on DVDs. So, I volunteered to do commentary for these DVDs. So
Yeah.
we did that for many, many years. DVDs were selling all over the country, all over the world. You can go to Japan and go into DVD stores and find our
Isn't that
DVDs.
interesting, like, how that happens?
Yeah, it's very, very strange.
It's like,
And
how the hell did this end up here?
you didn't know how big it had got. And then we did a reunion show many years ago, and people were lining up, bringing copies of DVDs for me to autograph.
Oh, that's awesome.
And this was right when me and Sarah got together, and she was like, "What the hell's going?"
What did
Like,
I get myself
she had
into?
no clue. The people that did that. Actually, Pat McAfee, the big ESPN
Uh-huh.
podcast guy, who's also a professional wrestler and does commentary for WWE. His first match was with us, with our company.
That's cool.
So I did the commentary for Pat's first match. Became friends with him. He's very dear to me. I love that guy a lot. And every once in a while, he'll just start talking about it
Yeah.
on his show. And when that happens, I start getting tagged in thousands of posts,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh no!"
Like, he
what's
must have
yeah.
mentioned it. What did he say now?
So he'll post, he'll play that video from our little wrestling show years ago, on his show on ESPN for millions of people,
Right.
and then all of a sudden it blows up again. So where I didn't think it was that big of a thing, where I started doing shows and the clubs would use that as a credit for me as seen on the Pat McAfee show,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Well, I mean, I've did some guest stuff on there
Take it where
before and
you can
spoke
get it,
to it. Yeah, I
man.
was like, I wouldn't say like I'm on there all the time. I've been on it, 5, 6 times or something.
Yeah.
But they started using that as a credit. So
Yeah.
that was kind of strange.
That's interesting. Like, I think it's funny that, like, the DVD's overseas. Like, that's
Yeah,
hilarious to me.
it's very strange because I do the English commentary. They put their own Japanese commentary on it.
Yeah.
And then, you hear them and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, how does that," like that, and then you flip a button, it's English commentary, it's like, "Oh, he threw him off the goddamn ropes," It's just my redneck ass, he body slammed his ass right there cold on that floor.
Right.
It's really dumb, but it's kinda flattering,
Yeah,
to
for
put it out
sure.
there.
I would totally brag about that all the time. That might be, like, my opening statement to people. "I'm Vanessa, and I did this.
Yeah, and then
I'm
somehow
big in Japan."
yeah, and I didn't know how big it got until, I searched for myself on Google once.
I'm so afraid to do that,
And
especially with, like, AI now.
and it
I'm like,
came up
oh.
that it was on the Internet Movie Database, and there was, like, 8 wrestling DVDs on there, and it had, like, all the stuff, and I was like, "Holy crap." I was like, "I'm on the Internet Movie Database for wrestling
Right.
things." I was like, "I had my own reality show at one point, for Christ's sake. That's not on there." But,
Right.
yeah, I was like, but here this is." Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty funny. Um, let's talk a little bit about business. How do you get booked? How do you keep getting booked? How's that working out for you?
So, I do promote some of my own shows in West Virginia. I try not to perform on them too much. Sometimes I do a monthly show in Charleston. There's no comedy clubs around here anymore.
There really
It's
isn't.
it's
I did see that this Jerks that's coming in over at Pullman that they're talking about doing some comedy
Right,
shows.
right, yeah. So
So that's cool.
that might be pretty cool.
Yeah.
My goal is to eventually, in Charleston and Huntington, is to have a comedy show. It's just open Fridays, Saturday evenings, few hours a show. You can get beers, few drinks,
Yeah.
just that kind of thing. That's my goal for West Virginia. I just know that I have to travel because there's nothing around here.
Yeah.
My bookings, have came from word of mouth. I don't want to toot my own horn. I'm pretty good on stage.
Yeah.
Like I can go anywhere, do any kind of crowd. And bookers know that. I'm easy to get along with. I'm not a dick,
And that's what makes the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah. So, I'll go. I don't have, I had a club recently get hold of me and wanted, me to make out a rider. Yeah, you actually
Yeah.
commented on that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I was
So
like, "Don't get wild,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
because
So,
everybody's gonna think you're a dick."
so mine, I'm just like, yeah, have some water, maybe some Tic Tacs, stuff like that. Like I'm not into that. I've toured with some big I toured with a comedian last year. Was a very big comedian. He'd won Last Comic Standing and stuff. He's been in movies and all this. I was touring with him. Unfortunately, he's no longer touring because he got in trouble with some law.
Yeah.
So
Life
he's
happens.
gonna be going to jail for a long time.
Yeah.
He might as well had his own island, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Of
fun.
course, I had no clue.
Yeah. Lots of people getting caught up in the island.
Yeah, he never hit on my kids. So I didn't know. I was like, maybe my kids are ugly. I don't know.
Yeah.
But his rider, like he wanted fresh fruit and like rotisserie chickens and Monster Energy drinks. It had to be the white ones. They can't.
Oh, they're very specific. That's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
very big
So
part of my job. Like, they're very, very specific, and it's crazy, like, the like, they'll say, "Okay, we want, like, that Zevia, but we want 6 of them, and they all have to be in this flavor, or this flavor." And I'm like, "We're in fucking Huntington, West
yeah,
Virginia."
yeah.
Like, there was one, I forget the name of the brand that Mulaney wanted, but it was a sparkling water that was shipped out of Texas that nobody
Yeah, yeah,
carries
you
it
can't
here.
get it.
And, like, by the time it woulda got here, by the time we got the rider and, like, paying to ship it, it wasn't gonna arrive on time, and I'm like, "Shit, like, okay, I'm gonna lose this job," and I just started it, but his people were not that bothered by it. We were just
Right.
like, "Look, we can't find it, whatever." But there's, like, 7 other kinds of drinks that I had to have, and I'm like, "You're here for an hour, like, literally,
It's
there's
insane.
no way you'll consume all this."
Yeah, I mean, I've seen catered meals and stuff like that, and the headliners are usually like, "Hey, grab you something to eat or whatever," because they don't eat it. Like,
No, it's just in their budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's wild because, Seinfeld, like, I mean, it was a slew of stuff, which, I mean, it was all, like, things that made sense, like, if you're coming
Did
into
he want
town,
cereal?
he did not want cereal.
Because I heard, like, if you watch the Seinfeld show, he's always eating cereal.
Yeah, it's kinda
I
like
heard
his
that's
jam.
really
Yeah, well, and he wanted, like so what he did hopefully I don't get my hand smacked at work, he came in a day early and didn't tell us he was coming in. So, he came in, he rented out, the movies at Pullman Square, and he and his crew watched a movie. He literally ate, came straight over to the Keith, went on stage, and then flew right back out.
Right.
So, like, all the stuff that we did for his room, which part of it was, he wanted protein powder, which, I mean, it's like and again, I get it.
Right.
Maybe he's gonna work out. He don't know. Like, he don't know what is ahead of time, weeks ahead of time. He don't know what that's gonna look like. So, like, protein powder, he wanted Starbucks coffee, he wanted a very specific peanut butter that we weren't able to get, but he did have the option of getting the equivalent of, which was very hard to find because he, is Jewish,
Uh-huh.
so their dietary
Sure,
selections,
sure.
so we were able to find a peanut butter and jelly, so that's actually what he ended up having. Out of
Yeah.
his whole everything he got in his room, he had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and drank half a cup of Starbucks coffee, went on stage, got on a jet, left immediately after. So I was like, "What do we do with all this stuff?"
I wanna get that. But he's a I mean, that's a damn superstar. That's a A-lister.
Yeah, he did sign several posters for us for free, like, for the house, so, like, the people working there and stuff like that, so that was really cool, and the guy that we dealt with, his, I guess, producer, super nice guy.
Yeah.
Very, very matter of fact, but I'm like, "Shoot, you're representing Jerry Seinfeld, like, you've gotta be."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I got
Yeah,
it,
he's
but it
getting
was
15% of a lot of money. Yeah,
Right,
so
right. Everybody was like, "Oh god, he's a lot," and I was like, you probably have to be." I was like, "'Cause
yeah.
imagine walking into a theater or, like, a arena or something like that, and, like, it's just full of incompetent people. Like, I bet that happens more often than not, so having to be very like, "Okay, this, and then double checking this, and
Yeah.
this," I get. So it's very interesting how that all works, though. But, yeah, that's why I was like, "Don't be a diva because 'cause you'll forever be remembered as the dick that
Yeah,
wanted."
like, I don't like, I'm so, like, I don't eat before shows. I did a show in Cleveland recently, and, Sarah and I tried a Korean barbecue for the first time
Was it
ever.
good?
It was delicious. It was
I've heard really good things, but I've never had it, but I've heard really good
I
things.
was like, it was really cool. We ate some weird meats. I don't really know what the hell they were. They were delicious.
I get
But
that.
that was about 4 hours for my show,
Yeah.
and I have this rule, I don't eat, and then I was on stage, and I was like, "Oh, no." Like, my stomach
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, man, this is gonna be chaos," but I made her through, I did,
That
pulled
would
up after.
that would be my fear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I try not so there's I drink water, I drink some energy drinks, I did a festival a couple years ago, my little buddy Chase Turner was with me, he's, like, my little protege, and, man, I got sick in my stomach, like, so bad right before the show, and I couldn't find Pepto-Bismol
Oh,
anywhere,
yeah.
so I went into a, Sheetz, and they had a brand called Stomach. It is just it's called Stomach Pink Bismuth.
Yeah.
And I kept going I drank the whole bottle before the show, I was taking pictures with it, and I sent, all these cool emails to that company. It was like, "Dude, let me be your, like, spokesperson."
Yeah.
I was like, "Stomach." I was like, "You
I
guys are the
found this
shit."
randomly
I
in
was
a
like,
sheet
"Dude," yeah, so there's all if you go onto any of my social media, just find pictures of me, like,
with
holding a
Pepto.
bottle of Stomach to
Knockoff
my
Peptic.
face, yeah. Yeah, I don't even know, like, it's made I mean, it's sold at a damn gas station, that's
Right.
yeah, so, a Stomach, shout out, man, hire me. Make it big, brother.
I love that. Yeah, I think that would really be my worst fear, like, getting up there and, like, people actively hearing the rumbles of oh god, I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be like, "Shit," literally and figuratively.
I don't recommend eating quail eggs before shows.
Ooh, that doesn't sound like a good idea at all.
Yeah.
What is one professional mistake that comics could just stop making, in your opinion?
Uh, Thinking that you're better than you are. There's a lot of comics out there. I'm talking about the up and coming comics. Jerry
Yeah,
Seinfeld do whatever the hell he wants.
absolutely.
Yeah. But well, one of the things is if you don't overestimate the amount of material you have. I've did this forever. I have a lot of material. But, if you think you have 20 minutes, you have 10 minutes. If you think you have 10, you
It's
have
the
5.
same way with podcasting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you don't stretch it out. There's some, guys out there, that are taking some bookings. Just because you can talk for 30 minutes doesn't mean you can be funny for
Right.
30 minutes. They're taking bookings out there for some of these shows. And yeah, I can do 30, I can do 45, and they'll have 5 minutes of funny and then, and just nothing. There's people,
Yeah.
they're openers that'll do 5 minutes and not have 5 minutes.
Yeah, because time flies when you're on stage.
Yeah.
Like, I can say that just out of experience of, like, past work of working for, like, grants and stuff like that and being, like, a trainer. Just being up there, you're like, "Oh, I did not anticipate that this would take 3 minutes as opposed to the 10 minutes that I assumed," you know?
Yeah, I could probably, if I get on stage and not just on material, like if I start, going with the crowd a little bit and just, if something happens in the crowd, like I'll go off and we'll
Yeah.
have a conversation and it's a blast to me. I think it's really fun. I don't
I think it would be fun.
sometimes.
It presents itself. Right, for sure.
Oh, this guy just came in a dress. He's 7 foot tall. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And that did happen, didn't it, sir? It was a good one. That guy loved me, man. Shout out to Sheila. He's awesome. But there was, you know, um, I recently did a show. I headlined a show, and usually there'll be a host, an opener, a feature. The headliner does like 45, the feature 15, 20, opener 5, 10, host does like 3 minutes, and then in between
Yeah.
everybody say something funny. Don't do a set.
Little one-liners, yeah.
Right. So they had added, it was a sold out show, and the club owner wanted to add a few people he had were younger comics to kind of give them some time, and I'm totally up for that.
Yeah.
Man, I am all about helping out younger comics. I'll cut my time. You're not going to hear many headliners say they'll cut their time.
Right.
Hey, man, if you got somebody you want to give 5 minutes to, I'm doing 45, I'll do 40.
Yeah.
I had 2 shows that night. This was the first show. But they gave this lady, who I guess does the graphics for their posters and stuff like that.
Just giving her the
They're
opportunity.
giving her 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And they let her open up. And she did not tell jokes. She got up and apparently she's a chemistry major or something. And she talked about the difference between tap water and seltzer water for 5 minutes. Nobody laughed. People were confused. They thought they were the most boring TED talk ever.
Mhm.
There was no laughter. And then she said, "Thank you," and got off stage, and people were just talking to each other at their tables like, "What the hell was that?"
What is going on?
I don't know.
What is life? Right.
And, don't kill a crowd. Like, that made it really
Yeah, don't start the night off really rough.
and then the feature that night decided, did a really good set, and then his final joke just totally comes out with a anti-Semitic free Palestine joke right before I get up. And I'm like, what the hell's happening?
Right.
Like, what am I going to do? So I did what anybody did when my Casey Anthony joke that keeps failing, uh, when it bombed, the crowd just,
Right.
and I said, I was like, "Hey, if you guys don't want to laugh, I can get that girl back up here. We'll talk about water for another 10 minutes. And the place went nuts.
Yeah.
They loved that. I made fun of her. And then I thought she was a little shit in my bag backstage or something after that. I was a little worried. But, just know, you have to, if you're going to do this, know the crowd, be funny. And the big mistake that they're making is thinking they have more time than they do. That is a huge mistake. Or if you, and not learning that if you get a big laugh, it's something and you're near the end of your time, end it there.
Yeah. End it on a high note.
And Tom Brady, that shit, win the Super Bowl, get out of there.
Yeah.
Like you just can't, if you keep trying to go, you might think, oh, I got him now, then you're never going to.
Not gonna top it, right?
Right.
I get that. Let's see. I've got a few here, but I want to skip over a couple.
Sure.
What makes a venue great for comedy?
Advertising. I want asses in the seats.
Yeah.
I really do. I love a venue who knows how important advertising is. That's why I like real comedy clubs.
Mhm.
100% in the business to do comedy.
Yep.
That's why I love theaters. You guys always have great, the Albees, man. You guys, you got your stuff out there. one of these days, my name will be on that marquee.
I hope that it
It will
is.
be.
I hope that it
It
is.
will be. I'm telling you. I'm gonna record my first special. I think I said that. I saw Schindler's List there. It can only go. I just saw the most depressing shit ever.
What the year did you see it in? Was it
What the year it came out? I was a senior in high school. We took a school trip there, and it
Yeah.
was so depressing that we all just went down and like into the basement, and smoked in the bathroom. Like we were just like, I remember sitting on like this luxurious couch
Yeah.
out down there, like it was like the couch from Titanic that hang me with all your friends.
Yes.
Like I was laying on it, like smoking a cigarette because I did not want to go and watch the Jews get massacred.
Right. Because
Right.
that movie is like so
Oh,
depressing. Oh, it's the worst. It really is. Yeah, I'm always interested in like at what point phases of life that they got to go in the Keith. Like, was it when it was chopped up? When it was not? Like,
yeah.
what was the situation?
Oh, it was so bad. I'll never forget that trip going down. I mean, I'd been there before for other showings. I think we saw The Wizard of Oz there one time, and then like movie wise when I was a kid, and then we went and saw oh, this is how old this I went with like an aunt or something. Carol Burnett was there, like doing
Yeah.
a comedy thing. I was really, really little. So
Yeah.
like I don't remember any of the comedy or even seeing
Right.
Carol Burnett.
You just know that you did.
Yeah, I know I
Yeah.
was there, yeah.
That's cool.
So but clubs gotta have like good advertising. You know, like there's a lot of venues that'll hire me to do comedy shows, and I'll do it, and then like I'm very good at making posters and advertising, and I'll send it to them, and I'll never see them advertise.
Yeah.
Like all you have to do is share this,
Right.
and if I'm making a percentage of the door, and I'm risking everything for me to do it, I
Mhm.
really appreciate you helping out
Right.
on that. But some don't do it. Some of the clubs over advertise, which is a great thing. I was recently on a billboard in Pigeon Forge,
Heck yeah.
right beside of a Dolly Parton billboard, which was the craziest. I swear, I went down there and I took 1,000 pictures of that billboard.
Yeah.
Standing out, selfies. Sarah took selfies in front of it.
Yeah,
It was my favorite
absolutely.
for a while.
Yes.
I was like, man, I'm on a damn billboard, like across from the Wax Museum. This is the
Yeah.
coolest shit ever.
There was this, I don't know who it was, but there's this random, I guess he's like an up and coming comedian. And it was just like, I was watching reels. Like, so it wasn't like anybody I follow or anything, but, he had gone into, I think it was Pigeon Forge. And, he saw himself as he's approaching with his kids in the car up on this like electronic billboard.
Mm.
And so he's like, "Oh my God, did you guys see that?" And his kids are like, "Oh, shut the fuck up." Basically like, "We don't care. Dad, whatever. Are we there yet? I need to pee."
Right.
And he turned around when he got the chance and like came back around and he said, "We literally had to sit there for 15 minutes to wait for it to loop back
Yeah, we
around."
did too. Yeah.
And he was like, "See, Dad." And he was like, "And I was there for 4 seconds in all my glory and my kids were still not impressed." And I was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, I get it." I was
Yeah,
like, "That's."
mine would be up for 10 seconds. It was every 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Yeah, 4:20. I remember we sit there and watch. We sit in the Johnny Carino's parking lot
I love it.
and sit there and did it. There was a hotel right beside of it, and I contemplated that second night getting that hotel.
Yeah, so you could
I
see it
just
all
sit there and
evening.
look out the window all night and do it. I wish I would have. Nothing like sitting there eating your continental breakfast, looking at my fat head up on a bed. But that was really awesome. I love good advertising. The Attic Comedy Club in Columbus, they constantly advertise.
I've heard
Wish I
really
was
good
there.
things about up there.
Great, it's
Yeah.
great. They have, it's weird that I'll go up and headline, then the next night it'll be like, just monsters coming in,
Right.
Bobcat Goldthwait and
Right.
stuff like that, and I'm like, oh man, I was like, people would be real disappointed.
Should have hung out an extra night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crackpot's Comedy Club up near Cleveland, Canton area, they advertise like crazy. They're all over the internet. I'm in Fort Wayne Comedy Club this coming up weekend. They do a lot of advertising, and it's just that's a big thing. Like I want to see that.
Yeah. Well, that's a big, like, even like the job at the Keith, like we hire someone to do marketing for us, but then us as well use our social media to promote as much as we can because we need those seats full. We
Yeah,
need
yeah.
it for us and for the artists.
yeah.
Like that's the way it thrives.
Yeah,
So
that's how you make your money.
Mhm.
I mean, you guys are like you guys have brought comedy back. Like it's
Yes.
really starting to.
It's been fun. It's been really fun
Yeah.
to bring that component back to town because it's been a long time since we've had it. So I hope that we are able to keep making that happen. Like it's like our director David is amazing, so I don't know why it wouldn't keep going up,
Right.
but like it's gonna be hard to top Seinfeld, you know?
And plus you guys had, gosh, I'm pretty sure that the Keats where I saw Taylor Swift perform
Yes.
country when it, like,
Mm-hmm.
years ago,
Yes.
I was like, "Oh."
Yes, and if anybody at home listening, if you guys have photos of that, we are dying to get photos to have to put on the wall. Like, we know it happened, we like, all those
Yeah,
things, but, like, there's nothing like, there's no posters or anything that we can find
I'm
anywhere.
pretty sure she opened up for
Yeah.
somebody, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was crazy, 'cause I used to go down there all the time. Yep.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal, especially back then because no one really knew who Taylor Swift
Yeah,
was, like,
100%.
yeah. Right, that's what I told my boss, I was
Honey
like,
Things
"Imagine
always
us
had
make that
I
happen."
saw Garth Brooks at Cannon Park.
Yes,
That
me
was
too.
crazy, yeah.
Me too, yeah.
And, my cousin made me go with her, her mom dropped us off, and I was like she was like, "Oh, there's this good country singer," and I was like, "I don't wanna watch this crap." And I
There's
remember
so many people that have played at Cannon Park, which is the craziest thing is they don't even do that really anymore. I think, like, when they have the Wayne County Fair, they do some, like, bluegrass music, but other than that.
I did comedy at the Wayne County Fair,
Did you?
at Cannon Park,
Yeah.
one of the picnic shelters. They contacted me, they were like, "We'd like you to do some clean comedy, come down." It was me and 2 other comedians,
And
and we
give you
get down
free
there.
corn dogs.
We didn't even get free promo
Oh,
bucks. What? I didn't even
no.
think about that.
Like, we're never coming back.
We got that free it was broke down that day.
Oh,
This is
that's
crazy.
the whole reason I'm here.
I
Come
know, I
on.
rode the haunted house, I did. But, I remember there was, Holly, she was a musician.
Forbes.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bald chick.
Mhm.
She was performing that night, and we did a comedy show before her, so in the crowd, it was the sound guy and her family. And I was just, like, pretty much standing there on this huge stage with all this fancy stuff,
Right.
just being like,
I've been like, "You
"So."
guys want me to just come down there and hang out with you?"
Yeah, I was like looking at her, I was like, "Oh, so you're into, music? Do you think Dolly Parton's farts smell bad?" Or, I mean, I can't imagine
It's
them smelling
Dolly, there's no way.
no way, man, they smell like bubble gum.
Yes.
You know, so I was like I felt so stupid. I was like, "This is the worst memory of the fair." Like, people aren't gonna be like, "I saw Bo Vance at the Cannon Park."
Right.
I'm like, "Oh, this is."
That's funny. Yeah, I've seen so many people there at Cannon Park, and then, like, I also, when we used to have, was it Summer Motion that was at the riverfront?
Yeah, yeah.
So like, Alan Jackson, I mean, so many people that, like, I was as a kid, I didn't really have a choice, like, I was getting brought by, like, my aunts and uncle and
Yeah,
mom,
yeah.
dad, you know? They were dragging me to their fun, but, like, there's so many people that I mean, we used to be kind of like a mecca for music
Yeah,
people to come here, you
so
know?
do you remember, you're probably around my age, the, uh, the Fox Expo that in
Yes,
Huntington?
yes.
So, I think it was my 11th grade year, my friend's mom worked for Fox 11,
Okay.
and I got to be Casey Falk at
Oh,
the
how
expo,
cool!
and it was the year that they brought in the pink Power Ranger.
Yes.
And
Oh, back when she was my favorite. Her and the Yellow Ranger.
as much as I did, he was like, "Like, get out of here." I was
Yeah.
like, "Come on, baby."
Yes, I've
Like,
been waiting my whole life for this.
you know, and stuff, and I didn't even, like, really get to meet her. I got to meet Sergeant Slaughter, but
Yeah,
and I had a better chance with Sergeant Slaughter, I do believe.
right.
But, yeah, I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, whatever, I'm not getting the Pink Ranger."
I had
But
completely forgot about that.
yeah, yeah, so I got
That's
to walk around
so
that
funny.
sweaty costume.
That's what I was gonna say. Did you hit her with it like, "We can keep the costumes on, girl"?
I remember pulling off the head and being like, "There she is," and they were like, "Keep that freak away from me. She's definitely not a furry." That's it.
I love it. Oh my god, we saw one the other day in the mall, and my little girl, she's 11, and, like, while she's aware that that's, like, a thing, it's not she goes to Vincent, like, it's Wayne County.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not that big of a thing where and she was like, "Mom, what is that girl wearing?" And I was
yeah.
like, "Let's go sit down and have a talk, honey."
Yeah, that's not I don't understand that, I think we were near I don't remember, we were at some mall in some big city,
That's where we were, was the mall.
there was all these just purple-headed people with tails walking around and stuff, like, it was so strange, there's some really bad malls out there, you know? And I was just like, I was like, "Yeah, I think we're at the furry mall,
Yeah.
freak mall," you know, all these, kids wearing chains and stuff,
Right.
leashes, and I was like, "Man, what is this world coming
It's
to?"
definitely interesting, for sure. Absolutely. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of rapid fire. So, just the first thing that comes to your mind. Best gas station snack for the road shows.
Oh man, I'm kind of into Speedway wings right now.
I never had them.
Oh, they're good, man.
Are
For
they?
5 or you what, 7 for $5 or something like that.
Can't beat
Yeah,
that.
I like it. I like
Hell
those.
yeah.
Those are good.
Okay. Pepperoni.
Wait, Bucky's burritos. If you
I've
go
never
somewhere
been to
Bucky's,
Bucky's.
yeah, that's a life changer.
I literally almost last weekend on Saturday morning, I was like, or no, it was Friday morning. I was like, "Hey, honey, let's both play hooky and take our little girl up to Bucky's because she's never been either." And he's like, "I gotta go to work, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to really go by myself, like take her by myself." So we didn't go, but like I want to go to the Bucky's and I want to go to IKEA on the way.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Make it work.
I want to do like the West Virginia round trip, you know. All right, pepperoni roll, legendary or overrated?
Oh, legendary. And, there's a place up north, I don't remember what it was, that has a, hamburger called the West Virginia burger.
Ooh,
That is, they take little pieces of pepperoni and they cook it in with the ground beef, and then the bun is 2 pepperoni rolls. I don't remember where that place was, but it was up near
that
Buchanan.
sounds good.
Yeah, that was the shit, and you dip it in pizza sauce.
That sounds real
Yeah,
good. That sounds
that's
delicious. That breaks all the time. You're good. I'm the one that originally broke it, and I just keep shoving it up there. I haven't actually glued it back. Yeah. Well, I used to sit right there where you're at, so I would, like, wiggle around, and I just knocked it loose, and I was like, "Nobody will notice." Alright. Worst heckle that you should have answered better?
Oh, man, there was some old people one time, the guy was just heckling everybody before me. It was pretty bad,
So you were kinda
and
prepared for it?
well, he was heckling everybody for me, and then, I went really hard on him as soon as I walked up. I said, like, "What is this? Like, bring your asshole grandpa to the comedy club?" And then he shut up, which I really wanted it to last longer.
Right.
But, I think the worst one, I did a show in Morgantown. It was a late night show at a comedy festival right on WVU's campus. And it was, like, 200 well-dressed sorority girls at this show, and one of them was totally trash, wearing a
Yeah.
miniskirt, and she heckled everybody. And when I walked up, the first thing I said, is a little vulgar, but I was like, "Oh, you're the one that keeps you running your mouth?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's me." And I was like, "God, I hope your pussy is as big as your mouth is." And I made her cry. So, for the rest of the night, she sat there with her head between her legs, and her friends just, like,
She got what was coming to
patting
her,
her on the back
honestly,
and
if she had
being
been
like,
hackling all night.
oh, yeah, they were like, "You'll be all right, ho," like that, I felt so bad, and then she sat through my whole set with just tears in her eyes, and people were just looking at me like I was an asshole,
Yeah.
but, I had
But
to.
drunk college girls are the worst.
Yeah,
Even, like, being a drunk college girl and, like, having friends in tow that just couldn't handle themselves drinking,
uh,
I'm like, "Man, you're ruining the whole vibe." Like, I just wanna go home now. Like, you this is not fun. Not
usually
fun at
not my
all.
ball for her, of course.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
which you can
That's pretty
see, they
funny.
were right in front of me,
Right. She had 'em on
yeah, yeah.
display. Why not? That's hilarious. One town that you'll always say yes to.
Uh, man, I like Huntington.
Yeah.
Like, I like Huntington. This is a very, I just did that show at Fat Patty's. The first show was, it was like a bunch of rich white people. Second show was a bunch of black people.
Yeah.
You just don't know what you're gonna get.
Right.
And, they were equally as fun. They were just totally different kind of crowds.
Yeah.
It makes you work. Down here, I've did the Pride shows. I've did
Yeah.
that. I've did redneck bars down here.
Yeah. For sure.
You just know what you don't know what you get. April 11th, I'm at some place down here. I don't remember what it's called. I'm so excited about it because
Yeah.
it's like it's at some like ritzy place.
Okay.
And I'm gonna walk in there, I'm gonna be like, why the hell's there 4 forks? So, but like, like you just know you don't know what you're gonna get down here. Huntington's
Yeah.
one of the most fun places, but also Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Man, anytime you can go somewhere and be around Dolly,
Yeah.
and all those good
The
places.
proximity, yeah, absolutely, I get that. It's funny you said that about the rich white people. That must have been the group that my girlfriend and her mom was in.
Early
That
show was
must have been
great.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah, that's funny.
yeah.
Worst TV show that you secretly like?
Oh man, the worst TV show. Whew, boy, I tell you what, I really like these autism shows now.
Oh, are they on the spectrum?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like those, but I don't know if those are bad. They're either really good or really bad. I like what they're doing for, the special needs community, but I don't know
For
if
sure.
should we
It
allow it?
almost seems like it's like exploitation in a sense.
Yeah, we didn't
Like,
do that, like, back in the old days.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
I
use
have
the R
mixed feelings
I don't
about it.
use the R word, that's like a thing. A lot of clubs will say, "You can't say the N word, can't say the R word,"
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Uh, and, like, I'm totally I'm totally I don't like to, make fun of talk down on people or anything like that, but, I think we treated our special needs community different back in the day,
for sure.
and now, we kinda looked at them, and I don't wanna say we felt sorry for them, but, like, we did, like
We handled them with, like, kitten paws.
right, and
Yeah.
now we're just like, "Throw them out there, let them get some ass,"
Yeah.
it's like, put
Let's
it
put them on a
TV.
dating show,
Yeah,
right?
but, like, yeah, throw that one, and it's just like you're baiting them in,
Yeah.
Like, are they getting choices? Did that one dude really want, the one girl? They took the one guy and they put him with like, he's just an autistic guy, he put him with the girl with Down syndrome?
Right, like,
It's
did
like
he choose that or did, like,
they were
whoever's
just
taking
like,
care of
"This is
him.
what you get, pick one,"
Right.
Yeah, and the one poor guy, they stuck him with Georgie, and he's like, "Georgie, can I kiss you?" Like, come on, man, it's crazy. If you watch The Specials, is the Down syndrome house in England?
No, I've never seen
Oh
that.
gosh, look for it. It's great. It's
Yeah.
the best. They just took it's like Big Brother with Down syndrome people, and then they all just start hooking up. Like, I don't it turns into Love Island.
So instead of, like, this one time at band camp, it's like
Mm.
that's so funny.
No, it's really cool. Yeah, watch that one special.
I'll definitely look it up. All right. So we've been talking for like an hour and 15 minutes.
Mhm.
So I'm going to let you go. This has been very fun. If people want to catch you live or follow you on your work, where should they go?
I'm at Bo Vance Comedy on all social media except for Pinterest because I ain't that gay yet. I'm on all social media, also wvcomedy.com. That is my website. Also, post all the comedy shows that I'm not on in West Virginia. Just try to help everybody out. Let's grow comedy in West Virginia.
For
Let's
sure.
get it going.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And guys at home, follow Bo on social media, catch a show if he's in your town, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share this episode. And until next time, guys, we're out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Tri-State Time Machine. If you have a memory you want Vanessa to talk more about, just send her an email at tstm@mail.com or post a comment on the Tri-State Time Machine Facebook page. Did you like the episode? Be sure to share it with friends and family. It's the only way we can continue this fun work that we do. You can find a link in the show notes that you can use to share it.